there. This is Crystal Obregon of Crystal Obregon Coaching coming to you with a great topic this week. So a lot of people ask me what they can start doing right away to start working towards their dreams. And so I came up with 6. So the first one, and you will recognize this from a few weeks ago, is gratitude practice. I really think that's the first place to start in achieving your dreams, because for a couple reasons, as I went into in a few weeks ago, really when you're grateful and appreciative of what is already in your life, then you, one, as we'll talk about in a little bit, you become clearer on what your values are and what's important to you. And you also start changing your brain really to notice the positive. And it really makes, I cannot even tell you what a huge difference it makes. But being grateful for what is already in your life makes a great difference, and it's really the first thing you should do if you are trying to accomplish something. So the second is to gain clarity on what your dreams really are. This may seem like a no-brainer, but really, if you're not completely clear on what it is you actually want, your actions will be disorganized, and you'll flip-flop a lot, honestly. So one of the most important things that I did it was an exercise I did when I was doing my certification for health coaching, is really to look ahead a year, 3 years, and 10 years. I don't know if we did 5 years as well, but 1 year, 3 year, 10 years. And going back to the old tricks that I used as in algebra or as an algebra tutor. First, you put in what you know. And so, for example, the first thing I did is put in how old will I be in all those years? How old will the most important family members be in those years? And so for me, it was me and my husband. And then how old will my kids be in 1 year, 3 years, 10 years? And so that gives a framework, and it also gives a whole lot of perspective. And then the next thing is really to fill in those basics of what you really want your life to look like in those years, or as in those stages. And you'll be surprised that it'll start to fill in, and the gratitude and appreciation will come back in as well. So I did this 7 years ago, I realized, which is amazing, because all of a sudden I was looking at, okay, 7 years ago, my son would have been 7 and my daughter would have been 11. So when you think of, I knew how quickly 7 years went, how quickly 11 years went. So basically I was looking at 7 years till my daughter was going to go away to college, although actually I probably thought it was 8 years, because she kind of accelerated here in the last year and a half because she wanted to get to college a little faster. And so all of a sudden you start, oh, I'd better appreciate this time, even though, if you have kids, you'll know that it's not all fun and games all the time. And so that's the next thing I did. I'm looking at my notes. So it just it gives you that framework. And then you can start to really become clear on what those dreams are. And so so then the next thing I would say to do, so the third thing is to really spend some time after you've done that framework, really imagining your life, like your life in 5 years or your life in 10 years. Really do some journaling, and I'm talking about your dream life. Like if you had to wave a magic wand, and I know you probably heard people say this, but what would you really want your life to be like? Because that's actually how I want you to be thinking, is how would your life be? Like if you could wave a magic wand and have your life be however you wanted it to be, what would that really be? And I've given you the framework, and you've created that framework. So spend time writing on that, journaling on it. And it's not a one and done thing. It's, you can go back many times, as I'll tell you. So so really just schedule that time to do that. And then as you're doing that, also think about what would you have to do. So, okay, so I'm going to actually say this is the fourth thing. So there's actually going to be 7. I knew that would happen. So the fourth thing is to start thinking about what you would have to do to make that dream life happen. And then think also about what stops you, or what do you think is stopping you from creating that dream life, and journal on both of those things. And so then number 5 is, what are some short-term goals? And it could be 1, 2, or 3. I wouldn't recommend more than 3. But what are some short-term goals that could move you closer to that dream life that you want? And I would recommend, like somewhere in like the 3 months, 6 month, even a year out as a shorter term goal. So what are those goals that would get you closer? And then the 5th thing that you can do is, that's the 6th thing, is look at those goals and dreams every single day, and even better, write them down every single day. Because we all know that if we're not looking at them every day, it's really easy to get caught up in our daily lives and never get to them, which leads me to number 7, which is to schedule in time blocks of time to actively work towards your goals. So for example, I'll choose an easy one. If you are wanting to get into better shape, then if I were to look at your calendar, I would want to see, if I was your coach, I would want to see that you had scheduled in blocks of time to work out, to go for hikes, a walk, a bike ride, a swim, whatever it is that you like to do for exercise. I would expect each week to see at least 3 times during the week that you had scheduled to do those things. Because if it's not, I think it's Marie Forleo that said, if it's not scheduled, it's not real. And so those are the 7 things. Gratitude practice, gratitude practice, gaining clarity on your dreams, imagining your dream life, and figuring out what you have to do to make that happen, and then what has stopped you in the past, and setting some short-term goals, looking at them every day, and then scheduling in time blocks to work towards those shorter term goals, which work towards your longer term goals. And so that's it. 7 things, not 6 things, that you could do right now to get you working towards your goals. Because we all know people, I know people who have desires and dreams, and they don't get any closer to those because the days, weeks, months, years pass so quickly, and they simply lose connection to them, even becoming a reality. So I don't want that to be you. Let me know how it goes. I also have some Design Your Decade workshops coming up. I have a live version. I would love to join you for that, to go through it as a group. Or I also have a do-it-yourself version as well, so you could go through it on your own time. All right, take care. Have a great week, and I will see you in here soon. Bye for now.